Pesachim Perek Zayin Mishnah Tet, 9th Mishnah in the 7th chapter of Pesachim. We're continuing our discussion of what happens when a Korban Pesach becomes pasul, becomes unusable, negated. So the Mishnah says, a Pesach shiatza o shenitma, if the Pesach was taken out of the chomot, meaning you were only allowed to eat the Pesach in Yerushalayim. So if you took it out of the chomot, out of the walls of Yerushalayim, o shenitma, or the Pesach became Tamei, Yisaref miyad, burn it right away. Once it's Tamei, it's a psul in the goof of the Korban Pesach, and the essence of the Korban Pesach, you have to burn it right away. But Pesach is ready, and then the owner becomes Tamei. So, by the way, we learned last time, Yisaref, you burn it if the whole thing becomes Tamei in the Beit HaMikdash. So you have to go back on the 14th and everybody's there. That's pretty bad. If the owners become Tamei. Or Shemetu, the owners, they have the Korban Pesach, but then they died, so there's no one to eat it. Because you recall that the Korban Pesach has to be specifically for specific owners. Then, Tu'ubar Tzurato. Tu'ubar Tzurato means its shape should be Le'ubar, should be Le'ubar. La'aber means make pregnant, but it really means to pass the time. So therefore, what does Tu'ubar Tzurato mean? Yamtin an shiavo lidei notar. You have to wait until the next day, meaning you have to wait until the night. If it waits the whole night, remember the Korban Pesach, it can only be eaten at night. And then once the day comes, it's notar. We learned, lo totir mimeru ad boker, v'anotar mimeru ad boker, that which is left over, be'eshi sofer, so you have to burn it. Back to our Mishnah. Okay, so therefore, the question is, when do you have to burn it? Since it's pasul, you burn it miyad ba'arba asar. You don't have to wait until the morning of chamisha asar, kadesha tu arbar turato. But if we say tu arbar turato, you have to wait until it becomes notar, and then you burn it. Okay, so if it's the Pesach becomes Tamei Yisaref, but if the Baalim become Tamei or they die, then you have to wait and Yisaref b'shisha asar. You have to wait till the 16th. Why the 16th? Because the 15th day is Chag. The 15th day is Yom Tov. That's not Doche Shabbat. So therefore, on it's not Doche Yom Tov. So therefore, on the 16th day, that's the first time that you can burn it. Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch says, Av ze yisaref miyad, lefi she'en lo ochlim. If the only owners of the Korban Pesach died or became Tamei, then you have to burn it right away, because there's nobody to eat it. So it's interesting. The Bartanura brings the Gemara and says the following. Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch lo palig at Tanakama. He doesn't argue on the Tanakama. Ela kishnitmu ha'ba'alim ometu kodem zvikat adam. He only says his argument if they became Tamei before you actually poured the dam on the mizbeach, before it became a korban. It was never viable to be eaten. The owners had died or became tamei before the korban became a korban. Let's look. I made a very brief chart so we can understand it better because I'm a chart guy. Here we go. Okay, Tanakama says if the Baalim became, whether the Baalim became tamei before zvikat adam or after zvikat adam, no matter what he says, the Baalim became tamei. So the korban itself is fine. The korban never became tamei. There's just nobody to eat it. Therefore, they say to ubar tzirato. Whereas Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch said, listen, if they became tamei before, then you serve miyad because it was never chazeh. It's not a psul in the Korban Pesach. Yeah, it's the same korban. It's not tamei, but it was never edible. But even before they poured the dam, it never became a korban. Therefore, you can burn it right away. Whereas if they became tamei after the zvikat dam, then it was a korban. There was somebody to eat it at some point. Therefore, you have to be to ubar tzurato. But we pass them like the Tanakama, and no matter what, if it's a psul in the korban, then you burn it right away. But if it's a psul in the owner, then you burn it. Only after you have to wait until to ubar tzurato, and you burn it on the 16th. We'll stop here and dedicate our learning, as we always do, to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.